This joint exercise, delayed for a few hours after dry heat and the use of explosives, triggered a grass fire inside Fort Magsaysay in Nueva Ecija. The Army's fire truck was deployed to the scene while U.S. forces flew in a water-bombing helicopter.
Those unforeseen scenarios and test our ability to respond on those things, and it really tests our decision-making in the ground.
The Army says wildfires are common during summer in the hilly open fields around Fort Magsaysay. Some U.S. troops admit having to adjust to the scorching heat.
One of the risk mitigation factors what we have to come up, or that we came up with, was making sure that we have shaded areas for our troops and a place for them to downgrade.
Staying under the sun for prolonged periods of time puts to the test not only the skills but also the stamina of both forces. Obviously, Filipino soldiers can cope better, as shown in a recent event where a number of their American counterparts had to be escorted off the field by medics due to heat exhaustion. But Filipino forces also say they will also likely find it difficult to adjust if they are sent to colder countries. Some Filipino-American soldiers seem to relish their deployment here for Balikatan.
Mainit pero sabi ko masaya dito, ang masarap ng, detoxify lahat ng pawis.
In a recent live fire exercise, U.S. troops had to constantly rehydrate. They said that both the weather and terrain pose the major challenges in operating in tropical countries like the Philippines.
It is absolutely imperative that we get into environments like this in order to acclimate not only ourselves but our equipment and really test our capabilities and limitations operating here so that we can enhance what we try to do in the future.
It's definitely a whole different experience with the heat and the humidity, so it's just an overall different expectations.
It's 34 to 41 degrees Celsius right now here in Subic, as the temperature is expected to breach the 50 mark in the coming weeks. Balikatan is already over. Since the joint exercises began, medical teams and military ambulance trucks are always on standby to look after both Filipino and American troops, because the Balikatan also entails joint forces having to adapt to the climate and the environment as part of enhancing their interoperability. From Zambales, David Santos, CNN Philippines.